change that picture. Anyway, how you guys doing? It's good evening. It's 6 o'clock, and this is the Unprofessional Professional Sports Show. We can start off that way. Yeah, all right.
There we go.
So, how is everybody doing today? Because it is NFL free agency period, and it is in full effect. I have 14 pages of trades and free agent signings. Holy cow. You're going nuts here.
And, of course, it can all officially happen now because 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 Eastern was the official end of the league year, which means now these trades can actually get signed.
Sure. Which I
except for the one that got reneged.
What? You know, but Bo brings up a great point, and I thought about this yesterday. I didn't share it in the chat that we had, but they can't even legally do a physical with him until he's on their roster, which couldn't happen until what time today? And so how do they fail a physical?
So you can, because it's the tampering period, right? So you can't sign any paperwork, but you can do all the legwork.
But the rules state that until they're on your roster, a player that's not legally on your roster, you cannot give a physical to until the new league year starts. That trade is not official until whatever time today. I don't understand how they gave him a physical before.
So, Keith, are you a man after my own heart? Are you telling me that you think that there's something funny going on with Baltimore?
There's something weird. Every trade you have the right to give, they have to give a physical, right? And you have to pass a physical. So I get that. I just don't understand how they gave him a physical before they could, by league rule, give him a physical.
It was just a medical opinion. It wasn't really a physical.
I think they got cold feet because they gave a 14th overall 2026 and they gave a 27th first round draft pick for a guy that they're not sure if the knee is going to hold up long term. And when they could have kept those 2 first round draft picks and just paid for another guy. And I was wondering when it was going to happen, and he got signed today. And I'm speaking of Trey Hendrickson, they guaranteed only $60 million guarantees, man. So it's cheap.
I'm guessing that agreement was made before they actually reneged on the trade, too. By the way, so they probably already knew they had that in place.
Well, I mean, besides, if you're Baltimore and you're looking at this, you're like, okay, I can get Trey Hendrickson for just the money, or I have to give up a couple of first rounders and a bunch of money to go get Crosby. I would have been looking for a way out of that, too.
And again, it seems I do agree with you, James. I don't really have a problem with them reneging a guy in the trade if they do it because it's not even official until today. Yeah. That's why these silly, tampering window is just a silly thing for the NFL to even embrace. I mean, you're either tampering or you're not. It's a new league year or it's not. It's free agency or it's not. But not the NFL. You got to have these little gray areas, right? And now they got caught in a mess. So, I don't know. I don't know who to be mad at. I'll just be mad at everybody.
Stand on your porch and say it with pride there.
Well, I do. My wife makes me come in when it gets dark.
And Jay, to address your question there at the bottom, I actually am not a fan of flat bills, but on camera, it's the only way to make your whole face not black. So I pretty much only wear a flat brim on camera. Otherwise, I curve my bill a ton, and so then you can't see my eyes or anything because the lighting doesn't work.
There you go.
There you go.
Jack would love us starting the show with that knowledge tonight. Where's Jack?
There you go. Yeah. Come on, let's talk about something that's pertaining to sports. Talk about brims on hats. But see, Jack, that's why Jack couldn't be on this show because it's an unprofessional professional sports show. So he's already.
And in fact, Jay, since you are in here, you won our raffle. We just crossed the 1,500 sub mark, and you won our signed Jake Bobo card. So
look at that.
I need your address.
Good job, Jay.
Kind of cool that you're in here. So there you go.
Good job, Jay. Yes, you did.
Good job.
Congrats.
So what was some other I mean, since we're on the subject and we started with that, which I didn't really want to, but anyway, what trades and free agents were you kind of surprised at or kind of happy about or whatever? What was the emotions?
For my own team, I'm a little underwhelmed by the Patriots' efforts, especially to get a wide receiver. I mean, Romeo Doubs is, what he is, I guess. But when I'm looking for Alec Pierce, or I'm looking for a guy I think can really get down the field, and I don't think of that when I think of Dobbs. And the other moves are kind of lukewarm too. With all the money to spend, I'm a little surprised that they were as inactive as they were. I like what the Jets did. I like what the Giants did, actually. I like what a lot of teams did here.
I don't know, Keith. I like your Romeo Doubs move. I think that's a pretty good move. I mean, you really want to give $114 million to a guy that barely gets 1,000 yards in 17 games because he averages 21 yards a clip.
They need a guy like who can stretch a field like that to make the other guys effective underneath.
But $114 million, they overpaid.
Dobbs is a nice consolation prize. It feels like a consolation prize. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but
let me give you some hope. How many championships did you win with a guy that absolutely rips the top off?
0.
How many did you win with a Welker Amendola?
Ton.
Bam.
But Tom Brady was the quarterback, by the way. Just I
mean, you got a pretty good one in the building, though, sir.
Wait. I am pretty sure he was the quarterback still when you had the guy that could rip the top off better than anybody in the league.
They set records and ran into, one bad Sunday. So
that's all it takes.
All I'm saying is, don't tank your team yet.
Oh, I'm not. Listen, I'm not tanking my team. I'm just saying I'm not excited about the last 3 days in my life as a Patriot fan. It's okay. I mean, than other days.
You're so spoiled, man. You say the same thing with your New York Yankees. I mean, oh my goodness.
God, you sound like Jack now, man.
To use the covered
I am spoiled. I'm the first one to admit I'm spoiled.
I mean, Romeo Doubs is actually a really nice surprise for them. I didn't know what you were going to do.
I like that move.
I like the move, honestly.
Once all the big names are off the board, I'm okay with that move. It feels like a consolation prize. That's all.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are making a pretty good moves too.
I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, I was going to say the moves they're making aren't awesome.
We'll get into that one day. Yeah. I mean, well, what do you think about? You already kind of told me off camera about your issues there, Bo. What do you think about Seattle?
No, I mean it's actually not really different than I was expecting. Right? I didn't think we were going to get to keep most of those guys. I figured that Kobe Bryant they were going to let go because he was going to make some money. They had already brought Quandre Diggs back, and so you didn't really need more safeties, right? And Kobe Bryant was a corner created into a safety, right? So they can move on from him without too much issue. Woolen, you knew for a fact wasn't going to come back. He's a boomer bust kind of corner, and the turnover rate isn't what it once was, but he still gets burned all the time. Plus you have the mental errors of, taunting and stuff like that. Everybody got to see it on the national stage, but we've seen it plenty of times here in Seattle.
Congratulations, Philadelphia.
Yeah. So Pags and I talked about that at length this morning because I was like, well, that's too bad. But but yeah, I mean, so there were a bunch of guys that, I knew we weren't going to get a keep. I was a little surprised that they kept Shaheed. Certainly at that price tag. 3-year 51 is expensive for a special teamer because they really didn't use him in the offense. So all I can figure is they're going to let Jake Bobo walk and they're going to move Shaheed into that third receiver spot. There's no way you're giving somebody a 3-year 51 mil contract and they're not going to be more involved in the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think Jay should hold out for a Rashid card, not a Bobo card then.
Well, but this one's actually signed in my hands, so that's the one that he gets. It's the one he won.
I'm gonna go shoot this way, Jay.
Damn, Jay.
Well, so to be fair, these are a very unique card because it was an event that I was a guest coach at. So unless you were at that event, you can't get this card. So at least it's still unique.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Pretty cool.
There you go, Jay. What about you, James? How about your team?
Great moves. They stepped out there and did some things. They were actually under the cap this year. Obviously, they led DeMario Davis, which I was pretty bummed about that, but I knew it was coming. That was talked about for weeks now. And then obviously he went back to where he started, where he was drafted with the Jets. He got, I believe, 15 million guaranteed, $22 million contract, 2 years. So it'll be good leadership for the Jets. So I'm happy for DeMario, and hopefully we'll give him $1 and retire him after those 2 years. So, but yeah, we got the running back out of Jacksonville with Travis Etienne.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, I really like that. And it's going to pretty much replace Alvin Kamara. It'd be interesting to see what happens to him in the next few days, because he may end up getting traded, because they were able to rearrange his monies to where, like 10.1 million of his monies to where it doesn't affect them if they trade him off, so he won't count against the cap. So that, and also the guard. I was hoping that we would get a really good guard.
David
we got
Edwards.
the best one on. Yeah, David Edwards. We got the best one on the market. So that solidifies our offensive line. We got 2 bookends. We got the center if he can stay healthy, and now on the left side of the guard is David Edwards. And so, yeah, I like to see what they're going to do with this, second year of Tyler Shuck, and what they're going to do in the draft. We also signed Noah Fant as well, and we got us a really good punter, too, out of from the Vikings that averaged like 45 or 46 a clip, man. So.
And Jay, they are starting to get paid. Walker just got the best contract of a running back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
4 years, 52 million for Travis Etienne. So
yeah, and
around
then
13, they're both like around 13 a year. So
yeah, Walker's is like right at 15.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're getting, the money's going up. So they're starting to get paid. I imagine the Saints are probably in the market for Love. Because, I think Kamara's probably out of there.
I don't think Love is going to fall to 8. I think he's going to probably either go 4th to Tennessee, or he may I don't think Washington grabbed a running back yet. So they may want to grab him as well, because they got themselves in the not trade, but in the free agency, they got themselves an edge player. So, and that's where I think they need defense, and they may go defense, but Love is probably not. Love is in the air in the top 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, especially after the combine, because that speed was next level elite for running back. But Washington needs so many pieces.
Yes.
So I don't know that they're necessarily going to be worried about that. I could even see them trading back a little bit just to get more picks, just because their roster was so old after last year. They got a ton of holes to fill.
I mean, they're doing a pretty good job. I mean, Washington's doing a pretty good job filling some of those holes too. I mean, they only signed everybody and their mother right now. They got re-signed Traylon Burks. They signed Nick Allegretti, offensive lineman, Andrew Wiley, Dietrich Wise, Tress Way. Got Amik Robinson from the Lions, Laramie Tunsil. They're signing everybody.
They got Chasen from the Patriots.
Yep,
too.
exactly.
So that's nice.
That's what I was thinking.
So they're trying to. They're showing up. There's a lot of teams that are bad, that were bad. Well, not good last year. They're doing a very good job in free agency, as they should, because they have the money to do so. I think the Jets are doing a pretty good job, although the Geno Smith thing is kind of funny. But
he's no worse than the guys they have. So I mean, and
that's true.
And he's the best quarterback in the room. He's the best quarterback in the room.
They don't want to win.
Yeah.
They don't want to win too.
Yes.
So.
I mean, if you wanted that funny graphic I made, there you go.
So
Okay.
all of these. Oh,
I
sorry. Go
saw
ahead.
that the other day. That's funny.
So this is all the QBs they've rolled through, starting with Geno and ending now that Geno is back. And there's even some decent names in there, but they were awful with the Jets. So
Where are the decent names?
Well, you got a Super Bowl champion in there, Sam
Michael
Darnold.
Vick, Ryan
I mean,
Fitzpatrick.
Not with the
Flacco-
Jets.
Sam Darnold.
Flacco won one.
Joe Flacco.
I mean,
Joe
so
Flacco.
there's some guys that have won in their
Aaron
careers,
Rodgers.
just not
With the Jets.
with the Jets.
Right.
Yeah, the Jets are like, the graveyard for the quarterbacks, I guess. I don't know what's going on with that.
You could go back
It's almost
to
like a list. It's almost like a list you could put up there for Cleveland too. Cleveland's got the same quarterbacks issues. I don't.
They
You
have
can go
a
back to
very
name-
similar. They have a very similar dysfunction
Yes.
in the front office.
Yes.
You could go back to Namath. This list doesn't get a lot better, except for
I was going to say
Yeah.
the best name, not named Namath, is probably Pennington, Chad Pennington,
Kenny
or
O'Brien. Was
or
good.
Testaverde.
Oh,
Testaverde as well played decent.
Ken O'Brien
I mean-
was really good.
All things considered, Sanchez, although hanging out in jail at the moment, played pretty well for the Jets.
We got
Yeah,
the
butt
two
fumble was
championships.
always what he's known.
Well, he don't want to be in jail, but fumbling. So I mean,
I mean, everybody does remember that, but up to that point, he actually played pretty well those 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm. He did, yeah. He got into the playoffs too, didn't they?
They got to the championship game twice.
two times in a row. Yeah.
There you go.
But but you got to give. It's mostly on that defense. Their defense is what really got.
Oh yeah, it's a team effort all the time. Yeah. Team
Yeah, of
effort.
course. Oh, I wasn't
So-
saying he was a leader or anything. Let's calm down with that. But he wasn't the reason they were failing, right? Like it was kind of like Dilfer in the Ravens, right? The defense won that. He just had to not screw it up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. As far as the Detroit Lions are concerned, I don't know exactly what they're doing. I was happy with the last 2 signings that they had. What was Teddy Bridgewater? I like Teddy Bridgewater. He makes a good backup to the top. Rocky Sin, I loved his play last year. He did a really good job. Isaiah Pacheco. I can't tell you how many Lions fans are going nuts for this one. Oh my God, he's real fast in the backfield. Let me tell you something. I told him if they replace the guy Monty with somebody, he has to be on the equal pace. Pacheco's not the greatest blocker in the world, and he's often injured. So I'm not really down with that whole situation yet, but I guess I got to see what happens. They signed Cade Mays from Carolina. That was decent, but still it's not the greatest signing. I mean, he was the second best center, but that's not saying much considering his run rating was crap. He's a good blocker, though. He hasn't let up any sacks last year, 0 sacks in 750 attempts, I think it is. That's good. I mean, at least Goff won't be sitting on us behind this year, but they got to run the ball, and that's the most important thing in this offense. So we'll see what happens.
I
Got a
mean,
while to go.
Goff's not getting ran over is, obviously helpful.
Yeah. And the Lions, the Lions let go of Khalif, Raymond. Obviously, as I said, Amik Robinson is gone as well. Yeah, we're gonna get into that too, Zay.
So I was gonna say we'll get to the NBA stuff.
But I mean, I feel that out of all the teams that were in this whole frenzy, I think the teams that won, well, Dallas did a pretty good job. I think that the Raiders did a pretty good job. I think the Jets did a pretty good job.
I like what the Bears did.
The
Bears,
okay.
The Bears
They lost
added
some
some
people.
pieces.
Yeah, they lost some pieces though too.
Yeah, but they addressed some known issues. So even though I knew Kobe Bryant was going to leave here, he is a good safety. So and that is something the Bears needed. So, I mean, I do like what the Bears have done. You can't get through free agency without losing pieces. Like that's just the nature of the beast. So everybody's going to lose some stuff, but there's some teams that have done well, right? Like the Raiders have added some good pieces, and the Bears added a couple of things. The Cardinals look like they have no idea what they're doing. Cardinals are just like,
when do they?
I mean, they're just. I think they're playing yards with names. They're just like, okay, and we're going to go get that guy. And occasionally, you're going to hit a guy that's decent. But yeah, the Cardinals, man, they leave something to be desired. It's funny in the division because you get to see how they work through this and fail. But but if you're a Cards fan, I mean, you're going through it.
I like what the Titans did as well, by the way.
They signed Roy Lopez. Roy Lopez was a real big part of what the Lions were doing last year, too. He was probably one of their best defensive linemen, and so they got him back. They signed Tyler Algier, which is a good back, and they retained Connor. So, I mean, I think they got the wrong running backs at the wrong time. I don't know what their OC is going to do. That's remains to be seen.
You know exactly what he's going to do. They went and got Hackett. Like that's going to be awful. And then your quarterback is Minshew. Like this team is not set to win a lot of games. This team is set to go get a really good quarterback next year because they're going to have a top 3 pick.
Let's talk about Atlanta picking up Tua.
That makes sense, though.
Mm-hmm. It's a great gamble. 1 year at the league minimum, you find out what you got.
Well, not only that, but you don't have to change the way you operate your offense.
Yeah.
Both left-handed. Right. They both play a similar style. They both get hurt half the time. So between the two, you'll get a whole season.
There you go. This provides the fact he doesn't get concussed again, and he's completely.
Well, there is
I
that.
guess that's part of. Yeah,
I didn't say they played half and then half. They just both play half a season, so it'll be like 3 games here and 2 games here, and they alternate back and forth to get through a season, and then whoever's third string probably if they sneak into the playoffs.
I think one of the sneaky signings that they did too was Austin Hooper.
Hooper is a really nice player. He doesn't he doesn't show up a lot, but when he does, he comes up with big plays a lot. We're gonna miss him.
Well, he's perfect. I mean, you got Pitts on the other side. I mean,
Austin used to play for Atlanta, right?
Hooper.
Hooper?
Yeah, he's played for Atlanta before. I think they drafted him. Also, they got back their receiver from Chicago, Zacchaeus, as well.
Yep. And they also signed Johan Dotson. So they got him. Aziz Ojulari is also somebody they signed. I can't,
Oh, the Saints took back the guy they drafted in the 7th round from them is Caden Ellis. So we got
Caden Ellis. Yeah, I was going to say that linebacker. Yeah. All right. So that seems to be, I thought there was going to be a little bit more, but whatever. Let's go to this. Bam.
Boom.
Scores 83 points and win over the Wizards.
So
there's a lot of talk about this guy scoring 83 points and being on the free throw line 43.
So that's the thing, right? Like that's the most ever called in a game, right? 43 free throw attempts is insane. He was hitting them though, 36 of 43. That's not terrible, but I mean, you got to kind of look at a game that has that many fouls in it. Like you're calling some ridiculous stuff at that point. I mean, you're calling some ticky-tack fouls to call 43, and that's just on the one guy, right? Like that's not saying all for the game. That's just for him. Like that is nuts. I mean, because that means it gets 20, roughly 20 fouls called for him. Like that's crazy.
Did the Wizards throw the game?
You can ask that every game for the Wizards.
I mean,
it's the Wizards.
That's kind of true.
But I think there's a lot of people that were kind of PO'd about the fact that he beat Kobe's record.
Come on.
I was like, come on, stop.
Second place. It's second place anyway. I mean, who cares?
Right.
Yeah, nobody's touching.
There's a guy he's deceased that got 100 points. So I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, as far as the free throws go, how many more in the fourth quarter? I really don't know. And to me, I mean, that's what really matters, because what we're saying is they kept giving him chances to score points because he was getting so many points and getting his tally was going so high. I don't know what he had in the fourth quarter as far as foul shots go. Maybe the majority of them. Well, you might know. I didn't look that close.
That I don't know offhand.
You know,
I don't know how many of them were in the fourth quarter. I just saw the grand total, and I was like, "That's insane."
Yeah, I haven't seen any legitimate articles questioning the officiating in this game. Social media, yeah, but that's not where I go for.
It's goofy, Keith. I mean, we're poo-pooing on a guy that, not you, but we're poo-pooing on a guy that actually had his best night ever in his career.
I agree 100%.
Oh,
Give that man his props.
I'm not saying
points are going to line a lot.
83. I'm not saying the 83 isn't impressive. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying 43 free throw attempts is nuts, right?
But he still got to make them, though. Like you said, he still got to make them.
Yeah, he made 39 of them.
And that's exactly why I was like, you know, he was hitting them at a good clip, right? He was 36 for 43. Like he had to go knock those things down. I'm not taking anything away from him. But anytime you see that volume of fouls, and not just in basketball, just in general, right? Like if you see an NFL game where it's just nonstop flags, or, I mean, and it's not like this is something new for basketball. Howard, I think, had 39, right? So, I mean, it's not like it's unprecedented in that way so much. But anytime I see that volume of fouls, I'm immediately looking at the refs.
Why is nobody in the league doing that, though? Why is nobody in the league questioning that? Why are not other players saying, "Oh, you look at what they gave him the record"? I don't think the league got up in the morning and said, "We're going to let Bam get 83 and 43 fouls."
They just said they were trying to investigate that situation, but whatever.
I haven't found one article that said there anybody's.
Oh man,
I haven't found nothing. Social media, you can find it, but doesn't mean it's happening.
I mean, if the dude is scoring, wait a minute. If the dude is scoring points and he's just constantly going to it ain't his fault that they're following him. He's just doing what he's doing. People are blaming the player. The player is just doing his job.
So
as an undersized center, that's really an impressive thing.
I'm not blaming the player.
Right.
Solidly looking at the refs here, because for you to call that many, you're calling some like real incidental contact.
What's the incentive to call those fouls then? If that's in fact the case, what's the incentive to do that?
No. It doesn't have to be that they're incentivized or anything like that. You watch it in NFL games too.
Oh, because they just suck. Well, then I agree.
They can just be calling everything, right? Because you'll see that where they'll be calling pass interference really tight in a random game for no reason, right? It's like, oh, it's a hand check, bam. Flag out.
I agree. And I guess I'm hearing it with the ears I normally hear, so I apologize, Bo, because usually it's guys saying at every pass interference, the games are fixed, right? You can, two things can be true at once, right? Officials can stink, right? And they're not throwing games, right?
That's all I'm saying. Remember, I go to a lot of WNBA games. I see a lot of bad calls.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They get some terrible refs in the WNBA. And so you're sitting there and you're just like, okay, like we're calling fouls that aren't fouls, and then we're not calling fouls that are like someone hit the floor. So,
I mean, for Wilt to score 100 points and then Kobe to foul that up with some, I mean, you're getting calls as well. You're going to the hoop. So if you know you're scoring and you're able to score at will on a team, and you're going to that's going to give the referees, hey, if you can't, they're not stopping him, and if they got to foul him to stop him, that's what they're going to do. And I think that's what the game is getting called on, how the guy is playing the ball. That's what it is. So if he got called 43 times on a foul, that's because they probably fouled him 43 times trying to get to the basket. I don't know.
Wilt had 32 foul shots in his 100-point game.
Yeah.
There you go.
And what Kobe had?
Kobe? What box score. Well, how many scored that day? Remember 73.
What's that?
How many scored that day? 81 point game, right?
Yeah.
They're always honest.
Looking for the box scores. Sometimes it's hard to find them. Here it is, right here.
No, probably not.
Sometimes TikTok is hilarious. Brett Favre coming out of retirement, signing with Arizona.
Colby only had 20. Colby only had 20 in his.
That's what I was thinking.
Game. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Is they let Kobe get beat up?
I think that would be a lot higher.
Again, going to the hole, and you're not getting stopped. The only way you're getting stopped if somebody's,
But Kobe's a high volume shooter, though. That's the thing you got to realize. He's a high volume shooter.
I mean,
he's not going to be a guy at the end of his career that you look and say he had a high percentage of shooting, but he had a high percent. Of making his shots. He had a high percentage of shooting.
He did that day. 60% he shot that day.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to shoot pretty good if you're putting up 80, right? I mean,
yes, exactly.
What was the percentage of Bam shooting?
He had 43 attempts. I know that.
I mean, his free throw shooting.
Oh, that was 43 free throws, right? Exactly.
No, I think he had 43
free throws. I'm talking about his regular shooting.
I think he had 43 field goal attempts too. Hold on a second. I'll find it.
36 of 43 was his free throw. Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Which was good.
Yeah, that's good.
Funny thing though, when you're shooting free throws, ain't nobody in your face either. So
that's true.
Right.
He was 20 of 43 from the field.
So just under 50%.
7 of 20.
Not bad.
22 3-pointers he threw up too. That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
So give it to Bam.
Bam was trying to win.
Yeah, and stop hassling the refs because that's just the way that they called the game.
Because they're honest.
Yeah, because they're honest. It's like
you're right. That might be the best defense the Wizard had. If you fouled Shaq 46 times, he wouldn't score 83 points. I can tell you.
Well, he can't shoot a free throw. That's the point.
Or free throw for sure.
That's right. That's why Hack-a-Shaq was a thing.
Right. That's right.
But yes, everybody else, uncontested points, they go in typically. Like most players are pretty good free throw shooters.
Why are you bringing up old stuff, Carlos?
Man.
Thanks, Carlos. I don't think the betting line was like 82, so I don't think.
Yeah, I was going to say there was certainly not a prop bet for that.
And I doubt Bam got up thinking I'm going to score 83 today. I just feel it.
Yeah, I don't think he got up feeling that way. But once he started playing the game, I'm sure he was like, well, hey, I don't know if it was Red Sea parting for, the Wizards. I don't know what was going on with their defense, but he just thought that he could just score at will. I don't know what was going on. But
no, apparently they were fouling him constantly.
Yeah, well. I would like to see the foul chart for that, by periods or by
I don't know how to find that. I wish I could find that stat. That's got to be. They got to have an advanced stat somewhere, right? But
of course.
So from 83 points to losing 8-0. What will the loss to Italy cost the USA because they can't math?
So
they can't math. The manager is looking. He can try to walk back what he said in the morning all he wants, but everything he did all day and all night said he thought he was out of pool play. He thought they were done because the pitching moves he made no sense either. The lineup didn't make a lot of sense to me. You say basically some of my guys partied too hard yesterday after beating Mexico. So
he definitely told his guys they were moving on.
Yeah.
And they did not take that game seriously.
Nope.
And as it sits today, there's a real shot that the U.S. misses. So for those of you that aren't familiar, if Mexico wins, it'll be Mexico and the U.S. if Mexico scores more than 5 runs.
Correct.
If they score less than 4 or less and they win, then it'll be Mexico and Italy. if Italy wins, then the U.S. and Italy go. So there is a scenario, because we're bad at math, that they don't make it to the next round.
Yes, good old American education.
And if you're Mexico and Italy and you just wanted to stick it to the U.S., which
You could go to extra innings.
you could, kind of fix this game a little bit, where Mexico wins 4-3 and they both move on, and they just kind of twist the knife a little bit.
It's ridiculous. Him trying to walk this back is just ridiculous, because if you watch the game, he doesn't. I'm convinced he figured out, or somebody told him late in the game yesterday, because the bases were loaded. They were trying to come back in this game. Bases were loaded. He's got Clayton Kershaw up in the bullpen, and Miller and Bednar sitting there. What is he doing? And then he puts Miller in and not Kershaw. So somebody said to him, there's this whole run differential thing, Mark.
Maybe. It's all about the tinfoil hats.
The colors on the flag are the same. Yeah, there you go. This is a good chance for Keith to rag on his coach. So I'd like to give him that.
Oh my God, Aaron Boone could have figured this out, for crying out loud.
What I don't get is how is it that nobody could figure out that the math wasn't mathing?
Somebody had to know. Or somebody figured it out, like in the 8th inning.
Like soon as he said, "Hey, we're moving on," I feel like somebody right then should have been like, "Hey, no."
And then his real employer, MLB Network, tries to cover it all up. They pulled the interview from their website. They scrubbed the video. So I mean, come on, it's obvious he made a mistake. You might as well just come clean and say, because it's the cover-up's always worse, right, than the crime.
Oh yeah.
Don't cover it up. Just say, "Boy, I blew it." I'd have a lot more respect for you if you just say, "I blew it."
No question. Yeah. I mean, if he would have just stopped at, I thought we were. If he'd have just stopped there, you'd been like, okay, well, I mean, so you're kind of dumb, but all right, cool. I mean, because no matter what, you're dumb, right? You're either dumb on this side or you're dumb on this side. There's no scenario where you're smart in this scenario. So you just look at it as like, hey, I did the math wrong, and apparently nobody else can do the math either.
Did somebody say coach and I didn't correct them? Because I used to correct Carlos all the time when he called the baseball manager the coach. So that's what that's about. Maybe I did it. I don't know.
Exactly.
Which is fun. It's a world baseball competition, so they just put us back, put us out there, and America.
And it's Italy. It's not the Dominican Republic. It's Italy. They should have been able to win with the team that rolled out there, quite frankly, right? But all these teams are catching up, though, because you just have to have visited their country, apparently, to be able to play for it.
So that's the thing. If you look at Italy's team, it's a lot of people that knew someone from Italy once, or they bought Italian bread at some point.
Austin Wells was playing for Panama. He went through the Panama Canal once, so he can play for Panama. Jeez, I went to the Panama Canal. I can go play too.
You got a postcard.
That's right. I went to Costco, got a loaf of pugliese bread. Boom, Italian.
Yep. There you go. So they might have. Obviously, you can't really say anything against that because they did beat America.
Got nothing to say. They're up 8-0 in that game. Hard to believe. I'm watching this game saying this can't be happening.
Oh yeah.
Phil Rizzuto could still start for this team, for crying out loud.
Well, there you go.
I don't mean to disparage. They played good baseball. I shouldn't disparage the Italian team.
No, they played well, and then the U.S. were actively trying not to play baseball.
Yeah,
I think that was probably the worst thing. Is even had they been moving through, why would you just barbecue the game that bad? Like, and maybe I'm just a little too competitive. Like, even a game that doesn't matter, you want to win.
Oh, don't be putting any words in
don't say
the
it.
We're racist again.
We're unprofessional. And that's about it.
Yeah, this is not the racist unprofessional professional.
I'm a well-known racist all over the globe here.
Unprofessional does not count on the racism part. Okay?
Man.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there, Jay.
Listen, my wife is Sicilian, so if she's watching now, I may not wake up tomorrow. I'll wake up.
With a dead fish next to you.
But of course, my wife is Italian, so she also now doesn't like Keith.
That's all right. It's a long line, man. To get to the front, you got to do a lot of slicing and dicing.
So, Bo's guy is at it again. Mr. Goodell is attempting to have a Thanksgiving Eve game.
That's like my guy.
Yeah, your guy. That's
I mean, if he's my guy, if he could kick some money down, that'd be all right.
Really? Yeah, that's true. Be my guy if he gave me some money. Yeah, for real. This is just getting out of hand with the having a game every day of the week.
Yeah. I'm fine with Tuesday games. Wednesday, I'm not about it.
I mean, I understand he's trying to get the brand money. I can understand that. But dude, you don't give a damn about these players. You really don't. When you start doing stuff like that, that's just telling me you just F y'all.
There comes a point you have diminished returns when you just over proliferate. I can't say the word right. Somebody help me out. Proliferate your game, and it's too much. It's too much now, in my mind. But mess with players' team schedules, like Bo had mentioned before the show, and
that's the biggest
a lot of consideration.
That's the biggest.
And it's not like they have a marquee game that they're going to put in those slots.
Oh,
no. I mean, the Thursday games are the worst.
We're going to get the Jets and Titans or something.
Yeah, it's going to be terrible for sure. Yeah, you're always surprised when you get a good Thursday night game. You're like, what is this? And it's by accident, right? They made the schedule and they're like, yeah, this is going to be a trash game. And then it's the two teams that accidentally are going to get in the playoffs. And you're like, oh, this game actually it kind of matters now. But
they kind of hit once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
But on a Wednesday though, that's wild.
Somebody that has a Thursday night show specifically because Thursday night sucks.
Is it Wednesday the biggest bar night of the year too?
It is, yes. So you lose.
I guess so. Who's going to really be paying attention? Because it's going to be drunk off their ass.
It's our professional unprofessional night. They're doing it on our professional unprofessional night.
There you go.
Trying to steal our unprofessional audience. Apparently,
I mean,
oh my goodness.
To be fair, if that's your best bar night, that's exactly when you want a game. Because if it's going to be a bad game, you're just going to remember that you watched a game, not necessarily about the game. So, it'll be all right.
From 18 going to 18 games to this, it's like to me, it's just a slap in the player's face. You just don't even care at this point. You just don't.
This is the same guy who wants to play an international game every week.
Sure.
When they go to 18 games, he wants to play an international game every single week.
So, and
what for? To sell jerseys.
I actually like Al Michaels on Prime because you can tell he's at that point in his career where he just doesn't care anymore. And he bags on a bad game like anybody, right?
Sure
he is your buddy you'd be having a beer with, watching a terrible game, just clowning on it. And I'm here for it. I like that.
He's probably back there going, what do you do? Fire me? I mean,
yeah, right?
I mean, he does everything but call a team pure ass. I mean,
yeah. And he gets
pretty close to saying that.
Yeah. Well, because he knows he doesn't have the same FCC regulations on Prime. So he's just he says some wild stuff. And you're just like, I like this Al Michaels.
I'm pretty sure you'll get some F-bombs from him before he hangs it up for good.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah.
The final game, he's just be like, F this team.
Say it to their face. You guys really effing suck. And you hear a lot of beep, beep, beep.
Oh, yeah.
You might not, though. It is Amazon Prime. You might not
it's
get
Prime.
that.
You know.
You can say, it's not FCC regulated. It's a private company.
Prime cuss words.
Prime cuss words, right. On Prime. Really, now we can segue into maybe college basketball. College basketball is getting heated up now since the March Madness is just around the corner. Duke is still doing their thing. They're looking dominant.
Number one.
Yeah, they got a couple injuries they got to be concerned about here in the ACC tournament, but they probably got a number one locked up, even if they were to lose, the first game of the ACC tournament. I would think now.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
The only one left is the 4. I think 3 of the number ones are solid right now, and I think Florida's got the 4th one, unless they totally, throw a stinker in the SEC tournament. So, but I think, to me, there's some really good stories. I want to see Miami get through their conference tournament. I want to see them go into this undefeated. I've hated the last 3 weeks, them wondering if they lose a game somewhere, they're going to get left out. They shouldn't be left out. People say, well, they don't play anybody. Nobody will play them. Do you know who Indiana State in 1979, they had Larry Bird. I get that, but they didn't play anybody. They played Purdue in their first game. Purdue was terrible that year. Other than that, they played nobody, and they played the Missouri Valley Conference. That's no better than where Miami's playing now. Give them a chance to go there. I want to see if they can compete with the big boys. They might get beat by 20. They might get beat by 30. I don't know. They're going to give up a lot of points, I'll tell you, because they don't play defense.
There is a distinct difference, though.
Well, Larry Bird was there.
Well, not only that, but you didn't play anybody back then. It wasn't that big of a deal.
How about Wichita State? Just in 2015, I think, or 14, whatever year. They were undefeated going into the tournament. They played the Missouri Valley. They didn't beat anybody all year either. They're ranked they had a number 1 seed. This team's going to get like a 9 or 10. Yeah.
But it wasn't brought to you by DraftKings the way that it is now.
I understand. I just don't want. I'm so tired of seeing teams that are 4-12 in their conference on the bubble, and Miami's there with them at 31-0 on the bubble. That just makes no sense to me. It's an assault on my common sense.
Jay is on you by hating stuff.
I hate everybody, Jay. I'm not liking you very much either right now, by the way.
Yes.
I'm just kidding, Jay. I'm just kidding. You're closer than you think to being right, Jay. Other than these 3 guys, I don't like a lot of people at all. So.
Yeah. Obviously, Herb said great 3 guys, so I don't know who he's talking about as the one he don't like on here, but whatever.
No, it's definitely me because he's my co-host for my morning show.
Oh, it's Herb. How you doing, Herb?
Oh yeah, Herb. Okay, yeah. Took me a minute. So your top 3 teams right now are Duke, Arizona, and Michigan. I really don't think any of them are going to have any problem not getting a number 1 seed.
No.
I mean, they really got to fall on their faces to really not get one. Florida's up there at number 4. We got Houston. Florida's playing really good basketball right now, too. They're really starting to turn it on. They've won 11 in a row. So they're turning it on. Houston, they're 5. UConn, I don't know about UConn. They're 6. Number 7 is Iowa State. Michigan State is number 8, and number 9, Illinois, and number 10, Virginia. That's your top 10 right there. Right now, it looks like Florida's one besides Miami. I think Florida's one of the teams that has a hot streak going on here. 111 in a row, and Miami's got 31 in a row. So
Miami's also balanced because they have had a lot of close games too. I know, again, it's not SEC. I'm not saying they play in the SEC, right? But they played a lot of tight games, which are going to help them come tournament time if they get in one of those games. So,
yeah, he's the Bama guy. Yep.
Bama's playing well. Bama's got a shot. There's like 16 teams got a shot to win this whole thing. I mean, we know who the top 4 are. They're going to be the favorites, obviously, but there are a lot of teams with a chance to win this thing. Maybe as many as I've ever seen. They'll probably all go out early, and we'll have some crazy Final 4. But,
it'll be the underdog championship.
Might be your team, Miami.
Florida has a really good chance to repeat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Florida's playing some really good ball right now.
Some of these teams can't shoot the ball at all, by the way, but they're going to hurt them come playoff time or come tournament time.
And Selection Sunday's this Sunday, the 15th. So make sure you tune into that so we can see where everybody falls at. A lot of the conferences will be wrapping up their championships by then too. Saturday, I believe. Sunday, early Sunday.
Locally here, the Siena Saints punched their ticket last night with a victory over Merrimack.
Mm-hmm.
First time since 2010. This team has won some games. They're 4-6.
Captain Jack?
Jack.
So
what's going on, buddy? Go Gators. How's your Miami team doing there, Keith?
Miami is just outside the top 25. They've had a pretty good year in the ACC, though. They'll be in this field. They could win a game. They could win 2 games and surprise somebody. They played pretty well the second year with, I'm trying to think of their coach's name, came from Duke 2 years ago when Jim Larangara left. But this team was in the Final Four just 3-4 years ago, and had a really bad last couple of years, but they played really well down the stretch here.
Do you have a really good shot at winning the ACC tournament?
I think so. I think if Duke's going to be the prohibitive favorite, right? But after that, I mean, if they should falter, there's a bunch of teams that could win that tournament. It's pretty deep. I think the league's pretty deep until you get to Lake Syracuse, who finally fired their coach today.
Yeah, Georgia Tech fired their coach too.
Yeah, a lot of coaches bit the dust the last few days.
Hey, Bo, do you have any pull in this NCAA tournament?
So I always hope the Zags are going to get it done, but
I like the Zags. Underrated this year because they're under the radar a little bit. Nobody's seen them coming. They're 12th, 11th, 12th in the country.
12th, yeah. It's maybe that's good because a lot of times they're getting talked about a lot, and they struggle to even get into the Final Four. Like they usually have an Elite 8 exit, and so maybe if they're flying under the radar, maybe that'll help them out. So, but I always hope that the Zags will, eventually finally get it done.
I actually put a little future bet on them plus 4,000 here a couple of weeks ago. So
okay,
we'll take that.
Yeah, throw some pizza money on that.
Yeah, you just got to get hot for 2 weeks, right? So.
Yeah.
By the way, Bo, speaking of Gonzaga, there's a really cool documentary if you're a Zags fan on Tubi about this last 25 years of Gonzaga basketball. It's really good. Watched it yesterday.
Check it out. I'll have to check it out because I've watched that stretch of basketball.
Yeah.
I was going to say for 25 years, they're not really an underdog anymore. They're actually a really good program.
Yeah.
So
they're an amazing program. They just can't get it done. Like they can't finish because there's actually been a lot of years where they were one of the number 1 ranked teams. They can never close it out.
They've gone to the final game undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't they against Baylor 4 or 5 years ago? I think they're undefeated. But maybe they have one loss. Maybe. They were number one team in the nation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they had a Final Four exit. I think that year.
Yeah, they lost in a final to Baylor that year. They lost in a final to North Carolina, like through 2 out of 4 years or something like that. They were in the final.
Are you saying they're the Buffalo Bills of the NCAA?
Yeah, they just can't quite win it all. Yeah.
And I like that. There's always a feel-good story going into the tournament. I mean, it seems like every year, somebody's talking about the Zags. So
they're a great basketball program, no question. Like they have a fantastic basketball program, and it's why I support them. It's the only thing they do, right? Like they don't really do anything else. They're a basketball school, and it's not like the UW is ever even in the conversation, right? Like that's not what they do well. Football, that's what they do, like and track.
25 years ago, they were getting ready. The administration wanted to drop to Division III. They wanted to drop basketball Division I because it was too expensive. Imagine if they'd done that. History would have been so much different. Mark Few and Munson before him did a great job. Mark Few's one of the most underrated coaches in the country. But he's had chances to go and doesn't leave. He could have gone to UCLA. Didn't go. He knows where he fits. I like coaches who know where they fit.
Yeah, we got into that earlier, Jeffrey. Just before we sayonara out of here, anybody got any other extra sports tidbits, professional or unprofessional?
Yeah.
Dang. Everybody had one.
So we had the last deadline for the WNBA come and go on the 10th, and they did not come to a resolution. And now they're like, hey, what if we sit down in the same room together? So apparently that's going to happen Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
I feel like that probably should have happened sometime over the last 3 months, because the timetable for them to actually get anything done is ridiculous at this point. So had this thing actually got signed on the 10th, which it didn't, but even if we were pretending that it did, this is the timeline that they'd have to take to try and hit opening day when they're supposed to. So say they got it done yesterday, and that contract gets ratified by the 31st, right? So then the 1st through the 6th would be the expansion draft, because they're adding 2 teams, right? And then qualifying offers have to get signed on the 7th and the 8th. Free agency would be the 12th through the 18th. The normal draft would be the 13th. Training camp, the 19th. First game, the 25th. All of that is in the month of April. So between the 1st and the 25th, where they're playing their first game, they have to have 2 drafts, a free agency period. Like, this is just not going to happen. So now they're going to finally talk to each other this coming Tuesday. I'm not really sure how they get through this without missing some games.
Yeah, Jay, like who's at fault here? Players of the league. I think this is more the league than the players.
This is the league. The league wildly overplaying their hand, because the other leagues pay more than the WNBA. So
the other leagues make more than WNBA, though. I mean, the NBA's propped it up for 20 years. Last year's the first year they made any money. Where's the money going to come from?
I mean, the thing is, though, is the players have all the leverage. And the money is going to come from the $200 million a year TV contract they just signed. But the players have all the leverage, because you can make more money in all the other leagues. Whether it's the ones they just started or overseas, they all pay better.
Well, the other women's leagues. Yeah.
Gotcha. So, I mean, when you're looking at it from that aspect, it's like, okay, when you were working, would you work for a third of the amount of time for more than twice the pay? Or you're like, no, I really want to work for this company that doesn't treat me that great for a third of the price for 3 times as long?
That's a rhetorical question, right?
Yes. There's not a single person on the planet to be like, hot damn, let me make less money. Like, so yeah, no, this is where the league is wildly overplaying their hand. And I would not be surprised if there is a strike.
No. Prayers out to the WNBA. Hopefully they get their stuff together and they are able to have a season this year.
Somebody let me know if they play. Oh, I'll watch Bo's reports. That's the only way.
Hey, I hope they do get it done, because selfishly, I want to be back in the stadiums. So, like, let's get it together.
The only reason I care about the WNBA is so Bo's got some work. That's all.
That's right.
There you go.
Right.
And on that note,
I wouldn't know if there's a strike or not.
We are closing our show on that note. Everybody have a very good evening. We will see you next Wednesday at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out.